Hello everyone! In this video we are going to be making this super cute strawberry car hanging. The leaves move up and down, they slide, so you can get it around a car mirror. I do have two other variations of this car hanger, so I have little cherries and I also have little mushrooms. But today we're going to be going over strawberries because it's sort of kind of feeling like spring. So really quickly, I sell these at craft markets. The price I have them set is $10. You can obviously change that around, but thought I'd give it as a helpful tip. But otherwise, they're just super cute. You can, like I said, put them around your car mirror. You could put them as a bag charm, really whatever you want. All right, let's get into the materials you'll need for this pattern. You'll need a size G crochet hook or otherwise 4mm crochet hook, some scissors, and a tapestry needle for like the seeds of the strawberry. The tiniest bit of stuffing, I have this mason jar that I keep all my scrap yarn and like stuffing from dog toys because my dogs destroy their toys, and I just keep it for little things like this. You'll need probably like, I don't even know, a tiny little bit for both strawberries. And then for the yarn, you're gonna need weight 4 yarn. You can use another weight of yarn, just know that that is gonna change the size that this comes out to. So if you use a smaller yarn, you're probably gonna want a longer stem. That way you can get the car hanging around the mirror. So you're gonna need some red, some green, and the yardages can be found here. And then also like 10 inches of white, so you really don't need that much. I just have this little ball of scrap yarn here that I'll be using. If you would rather have a written tutorial than a video tutorial, I do have the link to the written pattern down in the description. We're going to be creating the leaves for the top of the strawberry. So you're going to use your green yarn, and we're going to be making a magic circle. So the easiest way to do a magic circle, in my opinion, is you take the tail end of your yarn and just place it behind your working yarn. So you're making a little like X here, then you're going to insert your hook and grab the working yarn and pull it through, and we are starting with our magic circle. So you are going to chain 3, and then you're going to slip stitch into the first chain that we made. So grabbing the yarn through and then pulling it all the way through. And then you're going to go into the magic circle and slip stitch. So this is one of our little tiny leaves of our strawberry leaf here. So we're going to do that a total of 5 times. So we did that once. So now we're going to chain 3 again, and then slip stitch into the first one we did, slip stitch, and then slip stitch into the magic ring. So that is 2 times, so repeat that 3 more times. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm just going to tighten up by pulling the tail, tighten up the magic ring, and then we can fasten this off. So I'm going to take my scissors, cut a decent size, it doesn't really matter too much, and we're going to pull this through. I guess it kind of matters. One of these tails we're going to use to join the strawberry, so as long as one of the tails is like around 3 inches, you're good. But yeah, so we have our first little strawberry leaves. Now you're going to repeat this same thing a second time, but you're not going to fasten off at the end, and I will just meet you there. This is my second one. I just tightened my magic ring after I slip stitch into it. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little leaves here. Now we're going to create the chain that is the stem here. You can hide your tail at the bottom here, and you're going to pull your working yarn up, so we're working on top of the leaves, and you're going to chain 60. I have 60 chains here. Now what we're going to do is grab our little leaves we created separately from this, and with your hook you're going to insert it into the middle of the leaves here. Grab your working yarn, pull it all the way through, and you're going to pull it through the chain that you were on in your stem, tighten, and you can just fasten off. So cut your yarn, pull it all the way through, and we have attached the stem to the other leaves. And what you're going to want to do is go back into the middle of the circle here and pull your yarn strand down because we want to make sure all of the yarn strands, we're going to have 3 on here, so it's quite a bit. We want to make sure they're all facing downwards from the stem because this is what is all going to be hidden within our strawberry. We have the stem all done and our 2 little leaves here. So now let's work on these 2 leaves. We're still with our green here. We're going to make a slip knot. So how I make a slip knot is I wrap my yarn around my finger twice. I take the strand closest to my hand over that second strand, and now take that new strand and put it all the way around my finger and then pull tight. And there's a little slip knot. So we put our hook in and we're gonna chain 16. So starting in the second chain from the hook, so right here, we're going to single crochet. Then we're gonna half double crochet in this next one. So yarn over, insert into that chain, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 3. Then you're gonna do 3 double crochets in the following 3 chains. So double crochet once, 1, 2, 3. Now we're gonna do another half double crochet in the next one. Then a single crochet in the next one. Then you're going to slip stitch into the next one. So just pull it through, chain 1. So we have this section, and now we need to create a cross on the other top section. And we're just gonna repeat the same steps. So we're gonna do a single crochet, half double crochet, 3 double crochets, then a half double crochet, and then a single crochet in the last chain. So we have the top of our leaves here. Now we need to do the bottom. We're literally just gonna rotate our leaves and we're gonna work on the bottom of the chain that we created. And while we do this, we're gonna hide this tail end so we don't have to weave it in later. So you're gonna wanna pull this a little bit loose so it has a nice around the edge here, and you're gonna single crochet in the bottom of that last chain, technically the chain you just went into, while also hiding this tail end. And we're gonna do exactly what we did on this side. So we're gonna single crochet, half double crochet, then do 3 double crochets, then a half double crochet, then a single crochet, and then you kind of need to stop hiding your tail end, so I'm just going to throw it to the side, slip stitch, chain 1. So we have completed one of our little leaves here, and we're going to repeat again on the other side. So single crochet, half double crochet, 3 double crochets, then a half double crochet, then a single crochet, and we are done with our 2 leaves. So we're going to slip stitch into the first single crochet we did, and then we're going to fasten off. Pull the yarn through, and then I'm going to cut this side since I already hid most of it, and then we just need to hide this end here. So how I like to hide my ends, it'd probably be easier with a smaller crochet hook, or I guess I could use the Tapestry Needle as well. I'll use that. And then what we're gonna do is hide the yarn underneath the V's of our stitches here. So underneath these here. And I just am gonna go all the way down until there's no more anymore. Okay, so you can see kind of where I hid them. I'm just gonna pull it all the way through to hide it. Usually I do this with a small crochet hook, but since we have the tapestry needle, that works well. And then I'm gonna cut off the excess because we hid a good amount. And there we go, our leaves are done. Now we can put the stem onto these leaves. I just go into these front loops here in the middle and then grab somewhere in the middle of your stem, it doesn't matter too much, and we're just gonna pull it through until we have a little loop at the top. And there we go, we have our little stem and we have our leaves at the bottom. So now we are gonna work on the little strawberry to go onto these two leaves here. We are gonna be using our red yarn and we are gonna start with a magic circle. So like I said, I like to put the tail behind the working yarn, make a little X here and hold it, put my hook through and grab my working yarn through to create the magic circle. So we're gonna chain 1 and then we're gonna place 8 single crochets into this magic circle. Okay, so you should have 8 single crochets into your magic circle. Pull it somewhat tight, but not too tight because we're gonna need our hook to be able to go through to pull the stem through. Now we're going to increase in every stitch around. Don't hide this, keep it to the back. We're gonna put 2 single crochets in each stitch around and it should equal 16 at the end. Your circle should be bigger, 16 stitches around. And now we're just gonna do 1 row of single crochet in every single stitch around, so 16 single crochets. Our circle should be bigger now. It should almost be like curving in on itself just a bit. Now we're gonna attach our strawberry to our stem. Insert your hook where the tail is, come up from the middle. You're gonna grab all 3 of these and we're gonna pull them through. So you wanna pull all of the ends through. We just wanna take one of those ends. It's good to maybe try to find which one is the middle circle tail, which I think is this one. And you're gonna just tie these 2 ends together to secure it. If you want, you could tie couple of these, so I could do like 2 with that one and then maybe like 2 with this one just to secure it. There we go, now we have our little leaves attached to our strawberry here, so we can put our hook back into our work. And now we're going to start decreasing. So we're going to single crochet 2 times and then we're going to decrease. How I recommend decreasing, just so it's not super bulky, is we're gonna go into the front loop of the next stitch, and then we're gonna go into the front loop directly to the stitch after, and then you're gonna yarn over, pull through both of those, and then single crochet. So we decreased by 1. And you're gonna repeat that for 12 stitches. So we just did 3 stitches, so you're going to continue until we have 12. So 3, then do 2 single crochets, 4, 5, and then decrease. So go into the front loops of the next 2, pull through, and decrease, and continue on. I worked all the way around. I have 12 stitches now. These little strands here, you can kind of just start tucking them inside so they're out of your way, whatever works. Now we're going to single crochet only once and then decrease for a total of 8 stitches. So 1 and then decrease the same way by going into the front loop. So 2, 1 single crochet, 3, decrease, 4, all the way around. Okay, so we should have 8 stitches. Now you can kind of loosen this up. We're going to stuff our strawberry. So you'll probably notice the strands in there. Make it already pretty stuffed. So really you don't need tons of stuffing for these. I'm just gonna use just the tiniest little bit of stuffing here. And don't do tons because we want the bottom to be pointed. And if it's really stuffed, it looks a little strange and not as strawberry teardrop-like. Now we're going to finish off by just decreasing 4 times, which means you'll end with 4 stitches. Okay, so now with that row, you're just going to fasten off around like a 3-inch tail. Doesn't matter to be super long. That was probably way long than I needed to. You're just going to take your hook and go kind of into those 4 stitches and just loop this tail around a few times just so there's not a hole at the bottom of the work. And then we're going to fasten off and tie a knot. So how I like to do that is go into a stitch with my hook right next to where the tail end is, pull the tail just slightly to create a little loop, and then grab the tail and pull it through, tighten to make a knot, and then we'll just go anywhere in the strawberry and find where the hole is that our tail is closest to, and just pull it through to hide the end. Our first little strawberry is done. Now let's talk about how you add all the seeds. You're gonna need your white yarn, and we need about like a 10-inch strand of yarn. It really kind of just depends on how many seeds you want. This is how much yarn I just cut here. And then we're gonna thread it onto our tapestry needle. This may seem daunting, but you got this. So what we're gonna do is just go from anywhere in the strawberry, it honestly doesn't really matter, and poke up into where you want a seed. So I usually start with like a tall one, mid-size, somewhat in the middle, like maybe lower. I usually put 4 and kind of just space them out as much as I can. I don't really think you need to do tons. People get the point, they get the idea. So we're coming up, pull it just enough to leave a tail at the end here. And we're gonna leave that. So now we're gonna create a seed here, and we wanna go 1 stitch away. I usually go straight down. So I'm gonna go 1 stitch away here, and then pick where I want my next seed to be. So I'm gonna go like there. And so you're gonna pull through, but you don't wanna pull super tight. You wanna just pull loosely to where this sits really nicely here. So now I'm gonna go down here-ish, and then I'm gonna go for like a higher one over here. So make sure it's pretty loose, don't pull it super tight. And then go down here, and then I kind of look at the strawberry where I might want one. I think I'm gonna put one lower over here. Pull through there, and then I'm gonna put one like right here. And since this I'm gonna make my last one, I want to come out this same exact spot I came in. So I'm going through the same hole where my tail is. Have that, and I'm gonna unthread, and I can just tie these 2 ends together, but we don't wanna tie super tight because you don't wanna make these like smaller and cinched up. So just a nice little tie here. You can see I definitely cut way too much yarn. You really don't need that much yarn, but you want enough to be able to like work with it. So now you're just going to insert your hook somewhere in the strawberry, go to where the hole of that knot is, and just pull it all the way through. And hide a decent amount of the tail until you feel satisfied, I guess. And I'm just gonna cut this yarn here. And we have a little strawberry. So you're literally just going to repeat that same steps of creating the strawberry and embroidering the little seeds on for this side. This side's a little bit easier because you only have 1 strand to work with on the stem versus the 3 on this one. So just repeat the same instructions for this side. And look how cute they are. Our little little strawberries. So cute. And that is how you make these super cute strawberry car hangers. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you made these, I would definitely love to see them, and tag me at mae.crochets on Instagram, and also let me know if you're planning on selling them at any craft markets. And additionally, if you want to check out those other 2 videos I mentioned, the mushrooms or the cherries, I have them linked down below. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!
I wish I could leave my skin behind in this old rented room, float my way across the great divide and be buried in you. I've been looking far and wide for what I gotta prove.